My head down today, y'all. Yes. I want to let my head down. So just stay around because we're going to talk about self doubt today. Ooh, that's going to be fun. And then we're going to introduce my new book and where you can get it.
Someone's here.
She's here. The queen is here. Yes. You're just in time, Mama. Hi, sweetie.
Late and
No, you're
on
not.
time.
Never. You're on time. Never. You want a seat? You want to stand? You want to set up your. I know you like to.
You can be right.
I can stream live. You want to stream? Do you want to do that?
What?
Your phone? You want to stream live or?
I didn't bring my tripod. I didn't.
You
just
can.
flew with
This
my
is.
city last
We're
night.
on
This
Facebook
one.
Live.
Okay, we're good.
She's here. I love you. You smell so good too. Can you check her mic, please?
Yeah.
Sometimes the mic just behaves.
Yeah, just don't touch anything because the wire's kind of iffy.
You look ready though, Mama. You went to Mexico, Mama?
I can't hear you.
We're gonna talk about that. You went to Mexico?
Yes.
Yes. We're gonna talk about
How you doing? Good to see you again.
that. Do you know Judge?
Yes.
I met
Seen her at the
I met
rallies.
you-
We've had her here. Yeah.
I know, but I met you through her. Yes.
Full circle.
Full circle. There you go.
Yes. We can talk about that too. So, it's just a fun, organic. I don't have an agenda.
Sure.
I do have to ask you, what kind of parent are you? I have plant parents, fur parents,
Okay.
human parents. We have aunties. We had an auntie last week, so it's just fun.
Okay.
And then, because it's Pride Month, maybe we'll talk a little bit about Pride.
Okay.
But really, it's about you and your life and what you do. It's nothing.
Sounds
Are you
good.
comfortable
Give
right
a
there?
shout
Do I need to
out
get
to
closer?
Good,
on
good.
Facebook.
Yeah.
We give a shout out to people on Instagram, and we take questions if they have any. It's really organic.
San Antonio, and KG21G of 92.1 FM, San Antonio.
We have royalty in the building. Royalty.
We are San Antonio. Lulu is broadcasting Familia Música desde 1985.
So I play.
I can't hear you.
That's okay. I play Afro beats.
Okay, cool.
Ready. Good morning, KLMOK Alamo Tejano 98.9 FM, the Audio 92.1. We are San Antonio. We're Lopez Broadcasting, and welcome to the Parent Hour with Dr. Lulu.
Hola.
First, real quick disclaimer. All the comments and opinions made on the show are the sole responsibility of the host and its guest and do not represent the KLMO management or staff. With that said, bienvenidas, welcome, Dr. Lulu.
Hola, mi amor. Hi, Adam Mason, the place. What's up, my man? What's
Doing
going
good.
on?
Beautiful Saturday morning.
Yes. Inshallah. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. Happy Pride to all my Pride family and my Pride siblings. We have Pride royalty in the house today. Matter of fact, I was speaking at Lackland Air Force Base yesterday, and I was like, and I just took a chance. I said, do y'all know Judge Rosie? I was like, I just knew you were going to say, oh, who's that? Everyone was like, yeah, we know Judge Rosie. I was like, on the base, Judge Rosie, you have an extensive reach. So today, my guest is none other than royalty, really, on so many levels. My friend, JR, Judge Rosie in the house. What's up, girl?
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias, mi amor. And what are your pronouns so that we can...
I'm a she and a her.
Yes, me too. Yo también. So we are,
Ella.
see, I know, I like, yeah, you said, hey, yeah, you told me that on my
Yes.
podcast. So we are live on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. We're live everywhere. So y'all are in for a treat. I have a guy who I'm not dating who wants to listen, and so we'll see. Oh my goodness. So, Judge Rosie, how are you doing, Mama?
I'm a little bit jet
I
lagged. Came
know.
in late last night from a wonderful 5 days in Mexico City, being the keynote speaker for an international LGBT conference that was put together by the Global Diversity Council and our own Angeles Valenciano, who's here from San Antonio.
Yes, she's over the women in leadership or something like that. Or
Um,
diversity something.
she is the CEO for the Global Diversity Council
Okay.
and over the National Diversity Council and the Texas Diversity Council.
Yeah, I know she's somewhere up there with diversity. So that's, I thought it was women, but I knew it was something to do with minorities. But yeah. So how was the show? How was the event?
I think it was great. We were told that over 2,000 people tuned in online from across the world. We had about 50 to 60 in-person people there.
Wow.
So it was a huge success.
Yeah, I know with online reach now, we had like 250 with the radio show, just online alone. And we have people joining us from, all right, what's going on Facebook? I'm seeing hello all across the place. Who's Rebecca?
So Rebecca Cranston is listening from Australia,
Woo!
Australia.
Australia in the house.
and it's nighttime over there.
Yes, it is, because it's too. You know, I have a girl who is one of the authors of my book. She lives in Australia. She comes from tomorrow to our Zoom meeting. She always comes like from the next day, because our meetings are like at 4 p.m. and it's like afternoon the next day over there. So yeah, hi Australia.
And
What's
we're
going on
on
down
live,
under?
right, Lulu? We're on live with
Yes,
Facebook.
yes,
We are live.
So
on
let me
Facebook.
tell folks where to tune in because I'm on live with my Facebook. You've got your streaming. We are on KLMO, K Alamo Tejano on 98.9.
98.9.
You did that real well. She may
said
take my job.
She did know, yeah.
I got to tell a funny story. I was in high school and I was actually an MC for, I don't know if it was a prom or a Valentine's Day ball or something like that. And there was a band playing by the name of Shotgun. And they were all brothers. And their father was friends with my dad. And after the emceeing I did, they asked if I'd be interested in coming on their
Wow.
radio show that they did on a regular basis at a local radio station. And I was really excited, flattered as a 15, 16-year-old would be.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I ran home and I'm like, Mom, they offered me a job. She was like, damn, you go work for those boys. I know everything about them. You're not going to go work there. So there went my career in radio.
But everything's possible. You can still make it. So no worries there. All right, so quick shout out to everyone listening in London, Texas, Houston, Grand Prairie, San Marcos, West Lacko, Colton, South Dakota, Detroit, Michigan, Las Pimas, Philippines.
Wow.
Just checking in. So
Love this show so much.
So-
This is the most international show. Last week we had London, England,
Yes.
the UK, and then today we have Australia. There's a lady from Australia. She comes every week.
Yes,
I want to say the same
Rebecca
thing. Rebecca.
Cranston.
Yes.
She's a
Hi, Rebecca.
she's a big fan of Calamo. We love her. We appreciate her. Thanks.
Love her so much this morning. So we are y'all are joining me like literally live. So everything that we're going to do today is live. Nothing is edited, which is why I love radio. So before you came in, I kind of mentioned to the people on Instagram that we're going to be talking about the topic that we discussed on my parents support group. So if you don't know yet, I'm a pediatrician, a real doctor. So stop asking me, what kind of doctor are you?
You're supposed to say a good doctor.
I'm a good doctor too. I'm the good doctor. You know, people say, oh, she's the black doctor, she's the gay doctor. No, I'm the good doctor. I like to say that. That's true. But also, we were talking about self-doubt this week on our parent support group. So I usually bring the topic to the radio station. So let's talk about self-doubt a little bit. But before that, let's discuss wins. So, Judge Rosie, did you have any wins this week?
Wins. Every day I wake up is a win.
Some wins.
Because time is fleeting. Every day is a gift. And you just never know when something's going to happen and we're going to lose someone or you're going to be lost.
Yes.
We see how fragile life is, and we've seen how quickly things can change overnight from 1 minute to the next. We've been watching it unfold, right, before our very eyes, specifically for the folks up in Buffalo And let's not forget our brethren in Pulse nightclub.
Yes, yes.
All those young people were out just to have a good time. Our El Paso people a couple years ago, none of these folks ever imagined or anticipated they would become a statistic and a name in the annals of, forever, because they're gone now.
Because I want to say their names. I like it. I like that you brought that up. So because it's a live show, because we're going to hold a minute of silence. I don't know, Adam, do you have a clock or?
Yes.
We do that a lot on the shows. If you don't know yet, almost every week we're holding a minute of silence for something. And because it's Pride Month, we're also going to remember the children who are stuck. I don't like the word closet, but are stuck because they have people who do not want to think outside the box, and so they cannot live in authenticity. And many of them might not even end up seeing tomorrow. We have to acknowledge that suicide is the second leading cause of death for children aged 10 through 34, because they are children. And the number one reason is being in the LGBT plus community, because 45% of those numbers are actually queer kids. So we're going to hold a minute of silence for Uvalde, for Buffalo, for El Paso, for everywhere, and especially for our queer kids who really truly just want to be themselves beginning now. Wait a minute. And we're back. And so thank you all so much for joining us, always for remembering those, because we're not special for still being here. We're not special, which is why I love what Jadrine says. Her big win this week was just waking up every morning. I was expecting the trip to Mexico to be a win, but it's
I wouldn't be able to do that unless
I was able to wake up.
So
yes.
Everything depends on whether we wake up or not, right? Whether we breathe another breath of air.
Yes, and we're not guaranteed that, which is why we did not take it for granted at all. So what big challenge do we have this week?
Airport travel is quite challenging nowadays,
Is it about the masks or just?
No, I think there's a different attitude from travelers. There's a lot of entitlement, a lot of impatience. I'll tell you a brief story. Yesterday I was boarding a plane in Mexico City, and if any of you who have flown know, you have to get in line in this long hallway before you take a left into the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in that line as I was stepping into the plane, and the gentleman behind me, probably about 6 feet tall, literally bumped into me. And I turned around and I said, I can't move any further up. There's people in front of me. If we're patient, we'll get on here quicker. And he looked at me and says, you bumped into me. And I turned around and I said, are you kidding me? You're telling me I stepped backwards? And I just shook my head and just looked forward again and just tried to stop the conversation. He kept flapping his mouth. I kept going forward. As I was approaching and passing first class, which apparently he was a first class passenger, he literally elbowed my head. And I had to stop and take a breath and say, am I going to turn around and do something or say something, or am I going to keep walking?
Something tells me that was more than just his impatience.
Sure it was. And it always falls on us to be the better person,
to be the bigger,
to be the bigger person. So I walked away and kept going without turning around, because I felt like if I turned around, I'd probably be in a headline today.
Yeah, because also turning around means acknowledging.
Yes.
And you know what? That hurts him more for you not acknowledging how little, how small he is.
So that was probably the most challenging thing for me the whole week.
Oh my God, well, that's amazing, because I don't know what I would have done. You know how they say you don't know how you're going to react until you are in the situation.
Right.
I have to say I applaud you. I applaud you.
Well, you go to the mass media, right? And what you see on television and what you hear opinions about people like
Me, yes.
right? Minority,
Thank you, yeah.
women,
Mhm.
lesbians.
Yeah.
We're the crazy ones,
Yes,
right?
yes.
We are the violent ones.
Yes.
We're the ones that overreact. And
The ones killing people.
every
Yeah.
single day I fight those stereotypes for every group that I'm intersexed with, you have that intercross connections because I'm more than one minority. I'm 2 or 3 or 4 minorities.
7 even.
So
wow. So, but I guess if you can hear my voice, I mean, literally, y'all need to I need you to do me a favor. Be good, be kind, be nice. It does not cost a thing. Because if you had turned back and elbowed him back, you'll get thrown off the plane. And you're right. Nobody would say, oh, nobody would have seen him elbow you first.
right.
The kid who was being bullied, nobody ever sees the first person bullying them. When they fight back, then they get sued.
Right.
It never fails. How does it hurt you just to be nice, to be good, to be kind already? We talked about kindness last week, how we're trying to decide is nice better than kind, which is better, kind or nice. We settled on kind because you can fake niceness, but kindness comes from your heart. That guy had no kindness in his heart.
Right. I think a better word might be mindful.
Mindful,
Right? Be
present.
mindful and be present, be
Yeah.
thoughtful about what you're about to say and what you're about to do. And reflect before you act.
Oh, I love that. Reflect before you act. We're taking that. We're tweeting that. Y'all, if you can hear us, please tweet reflect before you act and quote Judge Rosie. Oh my goodness, I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to just looking at my phone. That's so amazing. But you know what? We wanted to talk about. So, do you have any goals for the week? So, just coming into the week, what goals do you have?
Well, as you may have already read or found out, I was selected Grand Marshal for this year's Pride Bigger Than Texas festivities. And so that was kicked off last night at the San Antonio Zoo. I unfortunately had to miss it due to my travel plans. But today, for the first time ever in San Antonio, Bud Light is sponsoring 2, not 1, but 2 river parades for the LGBTQIA plus community. The first one's at 4 o'clock, crossing in front of the Arneson Theater. And then we're going to do it again at 7 o'clock. And so that's very exciting. As you can see me, our float theme is flamingos. I don't know if I'm going to be able to round back to the house to get changed today before 4 o'clock. So I'm ready to go.
I'm going like this. I know flamingos are pink, but
So if I may ask, is this a free event?
It's a free event downtown at the Riverwalk. For the first time ever, we have rainbow banners being installed on Main Street. That's going to be a permanent installation.
Yes!
There's going to be 20 of them. And that is the end result of a lot of hard work from the Pride Commission, James Poindexter, Phil Barcena, Autumn Summers, and their team, along with the support and work of Councilman Mario Bravo in District 1 and his staff, Mario Llanos, and City Public Service and Dixie Flags were also part of that project and making it happen. And those rainbow banners are not just going to be up during Pride. They're going to stay up as a permanent installation year-round to identify that area of Main Street as the gay district.
Amen. And, is that the Broadway area?
No, it's where Luther's is and Sparky's is. It intersects at Main and Evergreen, just down the street from Cypress Park. As Crockett Park, I believe, off of Cypress. And so that's happening. And of course, next week is the Pride Bigger Than Texas parade. Friday night, we'll be at the Bonham and at the Heat with the Stonewall Democrats and a lot of other activities in between, speaking to several groups of companies and agencies that want me to stop by and make comments pertaining to LGBT Pride Month and how it's going for that community.
I want to go on and ask about safety, but we are at the quarter hour, so we're going to take a break and we're going to come back. So we have the incredible, if you don't believe me, you are hearing it's happening live. Incredible human being, my friend, Judge Rosie in the building today, just gracing the space. Adam, we haven't been able to say anything. Usually we're going back and forth, and they love Adam, but we don't know Adam today. No, when you have royalty. All right.
Well, just really quick, I want to welcome all the people, of course, from San Antonio. Redmond, Oregon is checking in. Thank you so much. And of course, to our beautiful people in Uvalde, thank you for tuning in. Our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to you. And of course, don't forget today we're having a benefit barbecue plate sale. Meet and greet Tejano artist at the Silver Bullet, 10929 Nacogdoches Road. 100% of the proceeds will go to the Robb Elementary Memorial School Fund. This is being put together by the Weekend Warriors here at KLMO. So we have a plate sale, raffles, and just a bunch of great fun. So if you can make it out there, join us. If not, hey, let us know. We'll send you our Cash App and we take donations. Once again, 100% of the proceeds will go to the Robb Elementary Memorial Fund.
Amen. Amen. And also, we have questions on Facebook. We'll
Yes.
come back and we'll take the
Rebecca,
questions.
we're going to get to your question in just a minute. We see you, Rebecca.
Can I tell our Facebook audience we are on KLMO,
Yes, yes.
K Alamo Tejano, 98.9 on your FM dial. So please dial in.
We have an app. We have an app.
And they have an app,
Yeah.
but if you have just a
Yes.
regular old radio that we all have in our cars, maybe in our homes still, tune in and hear us for the next 45 minutes.
And ask questions. Let's go. I love it.
She's taking.
I know she's saying, your days are numbered. Good morning, Rick.
Rick Valderrama, saludos.
Oh, El Jefe, thank you so much. You're such a
Say hi right there.
You're a gem. I'm so glad to hear you. I don't have anything with flamingos. Is this okay? It's colorful. Flamingos are pink. You don't have any pink things. Oh, Ras is watching. All right, we're good.
KLMO, K Alamo Tejano, 90.9 FM, the all new 92.1. We are San Antonio, and we're back with the Parent Hour with Dr. Lulu.
And if you're wondering what kind of music is that on the Tejano station, it's called Afro Beat in the house. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. My friend Clemence is listening, so she knows what an Afro beat is. She's
Yes.
a percussionist.
Yes,
All
so
right.
we are
Emilio
listening
Cashel
to...
and the Border Soul down in South Padre Island.
Yes, fantastic. Welcome. It's an international show. We've had listeners from Nigeria. We've had listeners from Canada. We've had Australia in the building. We've had the United Kingdom in the building. That's what you do when you bring color into the space. I am the first Black human being gracing this fantastic radio station since 1989. Are you kidding me? I think it's a pleasure. It's an honor. And I do not take it lightly. Thank you all so much for joining us. We are joined today by the one and only El Jefe. Is it El Jefa?
La Jefa.
La Jefa. Okay, thank you. You know, I've thought about it over and over again. Obviously, I'm not, as y'all can tell, I'm not Spanish, but I do try to speak. But I was like, is it El Jefa? I didn't think La Jefa. But you know the word Jefa, right?
I know that's a little text.
I know.
She ain't nothing but a Jefa.
I know, but for those of you who speak Spanish, Jefa is the feminine version of Jefe, which is chief or
Yeah, but it could, you could also sound like a little Texas, a lazy slang like Jefa. You ain't nothing but a Jefa.
Yeah. Okay. So we're not that one. We're not that one. But yeah, welcome. Thank you so much to everyone who's joining from Facebook on Jadrosi's dial over there, and obviously on Instagram and on YouTube and on LinkedIn and on Facebook for KLMO. We are live. The show is called The Parent Hour with Dr. Lulu, where we talk to parents. So, La Jefa, what kind of parent are you? Because you got to be a parent to come on the show.
Stacy and I have 3 dogs that we love tremendously. So we are fur baby parents. And I have a niece, Erica, in Round Rock. She's 19. And, I like to think that when she's around, I'm a parent figure to her, even though, she has 2 great parents, my brother and his wife, Hannah. But, there was a time when I was that parent figure for several hundred foster kids.
I was going to say you're a parent figure to me because it's what you call a parent.
I think someone that cares for you, wants the best for you, will be brutally honest with you sometimes when you need it, will correct you when you need to be corrected. But it all comes from a place of love. Yes.
And that is so important because so many children in the LGBT community, really even not LGBT, just so many kids are needing so much love. And so we are having to parent people, whether we like it or not. And sometimes it's not, you can be blood, you can donate sperms or whatnot, and that does not make you a parent.
Correct.
It's if you're present, if you're interactive with the person, if you're intentional with them, if you're there when they need you the most, you are a parent as far as I'm concerned.
And Dr. Lulu, you know the data. Everyone needs just one consistent, positive parent role model in their life, and they can come out of the toughest times through their development. And that is one of the 12 resiliency factors that Dr. Wolin and Dr. Wolin studied back in Hawaii when they did their study. 20 kids of alcoholic parents over 20 years. And if everyone has one positive role model in their life that is consistent throughout their life, from their developmental years for the rest of their life, that makes a huge difference in what direction their lives take.
I like that because we talk about suicide prevention all the time on this show. That's my work. That's my bigger work. And so one of the things I want people to know is that, oh my goodness, suicide is the second leading cause of death in youth today. But the statistics have shown that in Texas alone, is every 2 hours we have a suicide attempt by a teenager. Every 2 hours. And the highest risk factor for a suicide death is a prior attempt. So hopefully you're following the numbers here. Yet all those kids need is one single trusted adult, like she just mentioned. And the child would not go that way. So imagine the work that we need to do. While you all are focusing on everything else that doesn't matter, we have real work to be done in that arena. But who's talking about it? Who is talking about it? So my friend Rebecca had a question. I'm going to go to the question real quick so she doesn't think we have it's something about her child. Can you read it, please?
Yes. So Rebecca is asking, and let me pull up the question.
Yes.
She says she has a child that's getting ready to be tested for ADHD. So what can she do to help her daughter when she's diagnosed?
So I'm happy that she's asking the question. I do obviously have follow-up questions. How old is your child? So I don't know if Rebecca is still here, if you can just type the age of your child, but while you're typing that, for everyone else out there, the most important thing about any diagnosis is what you do with the diagnosis. A lot of people want to diagnose because they just want to have a name. But truly with ADHD, it's a case where if you're not quote unquote taking the medicine, then your ADHD is not controlled. Is that correct though? Or are you just a product of your environment? A lot of times the environment is just complete anarchy and the kids respond to that. So I want to say not every single person who is diagnosed with ADHD is truly ADHD, because if you know Dr. what's her name, the black lady who wrote The Deepest Well, can you find her name for me? She wrote The Deepest Well. She's a black physician she was actually the former Surgeon General of California.
She also writes about trauma.
Yes,
and the long-term effects of trauma
on children. Yes,
on children.
I forget her name right now.
Nadine Burke.
Dr. Burke Harris. She's actually in my book. So the thing about what Dr. Harris is, she did the research. She found out that all these inner city kids were coming with similar behavior traits suggestive of ADHD. And so she asked the same question that I asked. She said, wait, why are all these kids coming in with all of these symptoms? What I did was I asked, why are all these kids coming in suicidal? But that was different. She was like, why are they all coming in looking like, and people were just giving them medicine. She's like, well, let's go back a little bit and figure out what's going on. Why is this particular group of kids? And she found that it was trauma.
Good
trauma.
And what we're starting to realize now is that kids can be born with trauma if the mother in utero is exposed to trauma while she's carrying the child. And there used to be that old wives' tale, right? It was, you saw a woman with child, you have her sit down, put her legs up, get her some food, keep her cool, don't upset her. But there's some truth to that. It's real,
yes.
Because if the woman suffers trauma, her hormones rise, and it goes through the umbilical cord to the child.
And the child has the same,
And then the child is born already with
traumatized
in the trauma bucket, already anxious, already overreacting to some things because they're hyper alert. And we fail to recognize that. We're just now learning that. So it's trauma is huge.
So we're not saying Rebecca, we're not saying your daughter has trauma, but obviously I'm not your doctor, so technically I'm not allowed to give you specific information, but I can talk generally. So what I'm saying is, while your daughter may very well have ADHD, who knows? I'm saying that majority of children who are diagnosed in a country like America, where every fourth commercial is about a medication, we have a they lean heavily on drugs and medications. And I'm saying, if trauma can be passed down through generations, healing can also be passed down through the generations. So if a mother is traumatized, that is so true. She comes in with hypercortisolemia. So they have a high cortisol, like all the fight, flight, and fright hormones, adrenaline, all of that is hyper. So the child gets it, which is why we swaddle babies in the nursery. I don't know if you know what swaddling, when they kind of put the thing this way.
Yes.
We swaddle them because we want to put them in
The
that.
Native Americans used to wrap them up tightly,
That's
their
it,
babies.
swaddle,
And
yeah.
if you see any indigenous types of cultural exhibits, so you do your history, you research the history of young children in our tribal nations, you see that they're wrapped.
Yes,
They're wrapped and
they
they're
try to almost mimic fetal position, which is why, think about it. The last time you heard bad news, what did you do? You went into fetal position. People forget, you bend down, you curl up, you do all that. That's all going back to that innocent fetal position. So I'm saying to you, be nice, be kind, be intentional, be mindful, all of the good things, but know that trauma can be passed on directly and indirectly. A child can observe their mother being beaten up, or their father, whoever being beaten up, and the child will become traumatized. So don't think that just because, I know we're not in Uvalde, all of us by extension, the whole country is traumatized, and re-traumatized, and that puts us in this hyper alert state. Like then it's like nothing bothers you anymore, but it really, truly, deeply, you are deranged inside, because it's like, oh my God, the next time it's going to be another.
Well, it's like we hear a lot in my profession about implicit bias,
Mhm.
right? Bias within ourselves that we're not aware of, but in our daily activities, it comes out, or in our words,
Microaggressions, yeah.
and in microaggressions, some just blatant aggression, right?
That person
And-
who elbowed your
Exactly. But you know, when we're talking about trauma, many of us, all of us, have experienced some level of trauma, but we're not even aware that it comes through not in it's as a memory,
It's
but
not
as a
overt.
reaction.
Yes, overt reaction.
Yes.
I mean, oh my goodness, we could have a whole talk about trauma. And you know, I love Judge Rosie, because talk about the trauma. The court, is it trauma court?
It is a trauma-informed, trauma-trained court, the Reflejo Court,
Yes,
which is a first of its kind, the court of first impression in Bexar County, Texas, and the country, to my knowledge. And what we did, Stacy, my wife, and I wrote a House bill, 3529, not the last legislative session, but the one before that was sponsored by then State Rep Roland Gutierrez. You know who Roland Gutierrez has been in the news a lot with the Uvalde tragedy,
Mhm.
and State Senator Jose Menendez, and they got it through their chambers of the legislature, and Governor Greg Abbott ended up signing it into law. It is a program for first-time offenders.
Is this something good? Are you saying that Greg Abbott did something good?
He did in this case. Yes, he did.
Right.
And so it's a program for only first-time offenders of domestic violence that come through County Court at Law Number 13. They have to be 18 and live within Bexar County. The incident alleged needs to have happened in Bexar County.
Mhm.
And we offer them healing. We offer them an opportunity to get sober. It is trauma-informed substance abuse program with a much higher level of accountability.
Mhm.
They come into our program broken, addicted.
Mhm.
We heal them. We get them sober. They have to be employed and housed before they can graduate.
Mhm.
And once they graduate, then they're on their own, but the case will be dismissed and expunged.
Expunged.
And
Yes.
that's very important to know, because if it's not dismissed and expunged, then they could become lifetime people labeled as violent offenders.
Yes.
And you and I know that creates an invisible group of people. It's people we don't want to think about or look at, but they become unemployed.
Yes.
They become alienated from their children. There's so many things that happen once you're labeled a violent offender. It affects your housing applications. It affects your ability to get into certain types of jobs. It affects your relationship with your children, and it comes up as on a criminal record. And so it creates a subset of people that we tend to not want to think about. And it's a lifetime yoke, a lifetime monkey on their back, as you say. And it's something they can't shake off. So this program, if they can complete it successfully, and it is a voluntary program, because what we've discovered throughout this time since we've had the court going is we have a very different type of population, and they need to want the healing. They need to want the sobriety.
Okay, so they need to want the sobriety. So we're listening to Judge Rosie, the one and only La Jefa in the building. She is LGBTQ plus royalty as far as I'm concerned. The show is called The Parent Hour. Me llamo Doctora Lulu. Will be back after this tiny little musical interlude to continue with that conversation. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your pops. It is going down at KLMO 98.9 and the all new 92.1 FM. Let's go.
A quick shout out to Rick Padarama, who's watching. By the way, Rick is a Tejano artist who will be helping us out at today's event. So gracias, Rick. También quick saludos. Shout out to KLMO's very own Rosie Longoria. She's got her Monday night Squeeze Box Nation show, Puro Conjunto on Monday night, 6 to 8. So check her out for that. Thank you for joining us. También para Marta Dominguez checking in. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
What time are we meeting at the place? Do you know?
Say that again.
What time are we meeting at the place? What's
the parade?
The time, yeah.
It starts at 4:00. So are you on a float?
I'm on the same float as you.
Oh, with the Dakota?
Yes.
They sent us. Would you send in your form? Okay, pull that up because it has all the instructions.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna meet on 9th Street at 3:00 to board the float. Yes.
All right, we're ready.
And it's flamingo themed. He asked us to wear flamingo themed. So
is this
that's not flamingo themed, Lulu.
No tengo flamingo though.
Oh, you're gonna have to go look for something. It's something pink, you know.
Yeah.
How's that? Yeah.
All right.
You know, that's the only color I don't have. I don't wear pink.
Fuchsia.
I wear red. But I'll look for fuchsia.
All right, we're back. KLMO Tejano on 98.9 FM, the all new 92.1. We are San Antonio Lopez Broadcasting, and welcome back to the Parent Hour with the Dr. Lulu.
See. Welcome to the building. Somebody from Mesquite, Texas.
Angel Agado. Bienvenidos. Welcome.
Angel, I love your name, by the way. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the heart. Y'all need to join us every single Saturday morning a las 8 de la mañana. Cada semana. We are here either live or pre-recorded, pero we are here.
La bilingual Nigerian.
Yes.
I love it.
So join us every single morning. Oh my goodness, I love doing what I do. I love reaching out to people. I love talking to people. I love trying to help people. So yes, I'm a life coach. I'm a retired pediatrician, but I'm a life coach now, and I work mainly with parents, any kind of parents, okay? But especially if your child is LGBT, because I know you. I know exactly what you're going through. I know it's not easy. I know you want it to go away and just wake up in the morning and there's your baby being whatever it is that you're wanting them to be. But I'm here to tell you that your child is whole and complete and fearfully and wonderfully made just as they are. They're not coming out of any closet. That's why I'm like, what closet? Whose closet is it anyway? No closets in my book. Your child has always been like that. Trust me, I'm Nigerian. What? We are the most homophobic people in the world. But I'm here fiercely supporting my child because I can. And it's not because it's easy, but because it's doable. So yeah, if I can do it, you can do it too. So how do you reach me? I'm glad you asked. www.dr-lulu.com. You get every single thing, all my events, all my everything. But the one I want you to look at is the Parent Support Group. We meet every Monday de la noche a las 6 de la tarde. It's Central Standard Time. It's virtual. So you have no excuses that you can't meet. Your first week is free. Todo gratis. Todo
Gratis.
gratis. So you need to just stop and just come join us. Check it out. See if you like it. You see other parents just like you. Trans parents, lesbian parents, all the kind of parents who are just trying to make it work every single day. And guess what? We don't talk about you parenting your child. We talk about you. Because I know that if you can be whole, like Judge Rosie mentioned, your child has the best chance of being whole. Your child is influenced by all of your thoughts, all of your words, and all of your deeds up until a certain point. So it is critical that you understand that you are the most influential person in your child's life, not the most important person. Judge, who is the most important person in your child's life?
Of course, your mother, right? My mom.
So your child is the most important person in your child's life, but you are the most influential.
I see.
And I like that because here's at 42, just to give you an example, I called my mom and said, okay, I can join the Air Force or I have a job in Australia. My mom said, Australia? Who do you know in Australia? I'm 42. Who do you know in Australia? What do you mean you're going to go 24 hours flight? How are we going to come visit you? Who's going to watch the kids? How am I going to see my grandchildren? Okay, mommy, calm down. But then there's the Air Force. Yes, your father was in the Air Force. It's America. It's Lackland. And I did what my mama thought. So you are influential. Parents, do not ever underestimate that power. I know you love your kids. I know you love your everything. But you need to accept yourself as a parent of a queer child, because that's where the problem is. It lies in your own lack of belief, lack of acceptance, and lack of affirmation, therefore, and the support of your kid. So join us every Monday evening. We're talking about our Monday evening support group. This week we talked about self-doubt. So Judge Rosie, do you ever experience self-doubt?
Every day. Every day.
What?
And
I didn't
it
even
can
think
manifest, right? Imposter syndrome.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Is it, do I really deserve this? Is this, do they don't even know the half of me. And so we, every day you second guess, you self-doubt, and you have to develop the ability to calm yourself down and say, you know what? I know what I'm doing. You know what? I know exactly how to get out of this. I know what direction to take. And it's in everything we do, from driving. I know, I know how to put on my left blinker. I know I need to accelerate right now. I know how, and it's the same rules for life. When do you need to take a left turn in life? When do you need to take a right turn in life? When do you need to slow down in life? When do you need to speed up in life? When is it time to take a break from life? So, driving is a great analogy for life.
I just wrote that down.
And so all day long, all of us drive, most of us drive. And when we're driving, we have self-doubt. Same thing applies to our life. When we are driving our life vehicle, we have self-doubt every time we get into our life vehicle when we wake up in the morning until we set our head down at night.
I love what you said about you need to trust that you already know. And you know what? Even if you don't know what to do, you know where to get the person to ask. Because I think people forget that people want to help. I'm a true, believer of ask for what you want. So Dr. Lulu's life ABCs, let me tell you about them. A is ask for what you want. I asked Judge Rosie for something. I forget. The very first time I met her, she said yes. So here's the thing. We almost always assume that you're going to get a no for an answer. But here's the thing. Even if you get no means next opportunity or next one. So it's like,
or not right now.
Yes. So what are you making the no mean about yourself? Because if you say, oh, because it said no, that means I'm horrible, that means I'm terrible, that means I'm awful, there you're now self-directing the no. But truly, most people are going to say yes. Judge Judy said yes for a long time ago. Then I asked again. Then I asked, and I just keep, and she always says yes. And and even if she says no, I have to respect her no, because it's about setting boundaries. You have to be okay with setting your own boundaries and sticking to them, so that when I set my boundaries and I say no to you, no is a complete sentence. I don't have to follow up. I can just say no, and you should be okay with it. some of us don't like to take notes for an answer. We have to learn how to take notes for an answer. That's one. And then number two, you also said look at driving knowing that you know how to find your way home, right?
Correct.
You know how to find your way home. And if you don't know where you're going, you put your GPS so you can get help.
You get
I
the
love
tools,
that.
right?
I love that. Yes.
And
Beautiful
even
analogy.
in life, you need nutrition, right? So that you need to put gas in the car.
Mhm.
You need to be the
Yes.
right kind of gas. Otherwise, you're going to break down.
Yes.
Right? You need to know when to change the oil. You need to know what maintenance your car needs, when it needs it, the air pressure in the tires. You need to wash that car, right? So I think for me, that driving analogy really does apply to life all around.
Yes.
And if you can apply that to your life, and I hope you all are good drivers and take care of your cars, because if not, then I have questions about how
we have issues. We have issues. Oh my goodness, what an amazing analogy. So, I have to ask, Judge Rosie, when was the last time you had major self-doubt and how did you come out of it? And just so you know, she did not get any questions. My show is purely organic. I promise you, she doesn't know what I'm going to ask her.
I think
When was the last time you had a major
making the
decision?
decision to run for the position that I'm in now back in 2017, and talking it over with Stacy. And so and when we're talking about making those types of decisions where you're questioning yourself, find someone that you trust, that loves you and wants the best for you, and sees in you what you don't see in yourself, maybe, and supports you, or also sees maybe flaws in you that you don't see, and kind of gives you that ability to bounce things off of them so you can make the right decisions for yourself when you find yourself in doubt.
So if you don't know yet, Judge Rosie is a judge. So that's what she's talking about. The last time she had the just to decide to run for office. Because you know what that does is they open up your closet and bring every single last pair of shoes, even the ones that you wore when you were in sixth grade. They're going to bring everything out. So that is it's not an easy, I can totally get that. It's not an easy decision. For me, I feel like I just have daily self-doubt. Like, what am I doing? It's like, wait, I think you're a doctor. I'm like, yeah, so why are you not practicing? Well, people don't want to leave you alone because, it's like, well, so, I said, no, there's nothing wrong with my license. My license is perfect. I just choose to do what I'm doing right now. And I love doing what I'm doing. But every single morning, I'm like, well, should I just get a regular job? So I have that self-doubt in me, but I'm like, no, I know that what I'm doing is making a difference. And ultimately, it's going to happen. But yes, so amazing that you find someone you trust, someone who loves, supports you, and sees flaws in you.
Is honest with you. You need honest people in your life. There's a great poem by Khalil Gibran that talks about friendship. It's titled On Friendship. And one of the lines talks about not only having a friend that's there to support you, but you should also not fear the nay from them. I can't quote the line directly. Yes, take the yays from them, but you need not fear the nay from them because you know that they're doing it because they love you.
I love it. Anyway, so I'm gonna just say maybe my mom was all about that Australia thing, but I'm glad I did that because that brought me to San Antonio and that brought me to your ears this morning. My name is Dr. Lulu, aka the MOMATRICIAN. If you didn't know, I'm a good doctor. And talking about being good, listen, Judge Rosie shared a story with us this morning how somebody was just agitating her on the way to get into a plane. Obviously, that person had issues. I want you to know that sometimes when people act a certain way towards you, it's not always about you. Sometimes and most times it's about them.
100%
About
message
them.
about who they
about
are.
who they are, yes. Who they are. If that person if you love and trust and that person, then that's different, maybe. But everybody has thoughts and everybody has their own minds and the way they process their own information. So a lot of times that may very well be what's going on. So you need to take a deep breath, stop, like she said, be mindful, make a pivot if you have. Because there's people for seasons, there's people for whatever they say, seasons and reasons. So sometimes the time is up for you, and then you've gotten to the end of this relationship, and it's okay to start the next one. So my name is Dr. Lulu. The show is The Parent Hour. You are on 98.9 FM Tejano, generally, but we play Afrobeat on this show, or usually we play our guests' favorite music. So we're going to go on a musical interlude so we can play some more Afrobeat, and then we're going to leave y'all with my guest's favorite music. And she didn't know I was going to ask her for that.
Yeah, but
Yes,
I'm open to it.
yes. So the show is the parent hour, and my friend Adam Ace is in the place.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
We're here with La Lulu.
Sí, gracias. All right, folks. See you at the flip end of this musical interlude.
Time
Your
goes
favorite
fast,
music?
right?
Yes, your favorite music.
Everything. And I'll tell you a little story about how my dad introduced us to all sorts of music.
Okay, so just tell him one so he can pull it up for you.
Oh, a little Selena. How about a little Selena?
Okay.
Let's do
Any
it.
day.
Or you know what? Juan Gabriel got that querida.
I like I discovered this lady called Ana Gabriel.
Oh yeah,
La
she's
Luna. That song, Luna.
yes.
It is.
I went to her concert when she
Oh
was here the
my
last time.
God! I've been playing Luna all week, and then I played La Llorona also.
Which version? Chabela Vargas.
I don't
You know who
maybe-
Chabela Vargas? She sang the most famous version of it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Let me see. But yeah, my friend told me. Oh my God.
Hello, everybody on Facebook. We'll be coming back on KLMO Tejano Radio. It's an FM station. Go to 92.1 on your FM dial, and we are on live. We'll be right back on.
We're gonna come back on. We got like 10 minutes. So.
In 10 minutes?
No. We got 10 minutes.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Ready?
1 second.
And we're back. KLMO, Alamo Tejano on 98.9 FM, the all new 92.1. We are San Antonio. Parent.
Adam, today was a good show.
It would have been great.
Yes,
If
we've
I
had
say
a lot
so.
of we've had a lot of people coming and just saying, "Oh my God, your radio show is so like uplifting. Your energy is amazing."
Great way to start
So,
a Saturday morning.
Yes, because most people are still laying in their bed on their cell phones. So yeah, my energy, I get my energy from you all. So the more you give me positive feedback, the more I'll come back. So if you have your own business and you're looking for someone to give you a shout out, holla at your girl, and we'll make sure that we'll make it happen with you, for you, and all about you. So as we were saying before we went on break, you were going to finish up what you were saying about your reflejo courts, and I kind of stopped you to do that.
Well, we're getting ready to have our third graduation. We have them every
Yay.
6 months, and we had our first one a year ago. It'll be July the 8th. It's open to the public. We'll be at the neighborhood place at 8 o'clock, going through our graduation ceremony that
De la
afternoon.
mañana?
Yes, ma'am. And we have complimentary lunch for the public. We are bringing in Jerry Dale, the author of the curriculum that we use in the program called Mission Possible 360. He's been working with violent offenders for over 30 years.
Wow.
And he knows everything about the trauma that our particular culture has experienced. I met him in Austin over 30 years ago at a Takata conference, and I am just starry-eyed. You know, I've got this boy crush on this man,
Nice.
and he'll be coming in to do some free training. We also have some speakers coming in, Amy from Oklahoma, locally Brett, and we're going to have some inspiring words from Patricia with Inspire. We're going to have our graduation ceremony, and I think it's going to be the best one so far.
Well, so obviously I'm biased a little bit, okay? So I've been on this graduation front. I think mine, whenever I spoke, was the best one, but what do I know? But the thing about it is a beautiful event. You really literally have to just come and watch these people, their testimonies. It's so heartfelt. They write letters to maybe their family members, and they read the letters. And last time we had this one girl whose letter was just so emotional, and it was just so good.
Let me
Y'all
give you,
need
I want to catch you up on her.
Go ahead.
She reunited with her high school sweetheart, who was the father of her child. So they got married.
What?
Since then. They bought a house. They're
What?
living out in Somerset, Texas, and she's where she needs to be.
Amen.
And she let me know that this had happened in her life. She just sent me a message about, I'd say about 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
And who would have thought?
Who would have
right?
thought?
Yeah.
Giving people a second chance. That's what Judge Rosie is about. So if you're wondering, she's also running for re-election, right?
Correct.
So, no, she did not ask me to do this. I'm doing it because I like her and because she's real. She's real people. So very few people will give you a second chance in today's world. Hell, I'm not want to give people a second chance sometimes. There's somebody that's currently the governor. I do not want to give any kind of chance. But some people truly look at you and believe in you and know that you are capable of more. And like she was saying, you can find someone who can be that person, that Judge Rosie for you, that mentor, that parent, which is why we're having the parent hour, right? Find that person. And if you've made a mistake, you know what? It's okay to own to your mistake.
We all make mistakes.
It is voluntary. If you she's not going to force you to sign up for the event. She's not. You have to know that this event is what this program is worth it for you, and then you need to sign up. And I love that it's voluntary. Because whenever you force people to do stuff, they don't appreciate it, and they're gonna drop
people
out.
don't get sober if you force them. They go and they check off the boxes,
box, yes.
And that's about it. But if they want sobriety and they want the gifts of sobriety, this program is the program for them. Again, this is only for first-time offenders of domestic violence who have been arrested either under the influence of alcohol, cocaine, or meth, and it is the first time they've had contact with the judicial or criminal justice system, and this is what we offer them. And now I will say that 17-year-olds do not qualify, even though they could be charged in our court. They have to be 18 or above, because with 17-year-olds, then we have issues with HIPAA, we have contractual issues. They're still not considered adults to be able to be making those decisions for themselves.
I love that you said people don't get sober if you force them. That's not the money maker right there. That's so powerful. And like anything else, you can't force somebody to like you. You can't force somebody to love you. You cannot force anybody to do anything. If they come on their own, you have a better chance of them staying through. And also, they pay for it. They will definitely pay attention. But yeah, I love that. So y'all, please find Judge Rosie. I don't know. She said it's only for San Antonio dwellers.
Bexar County.
Bexar County. So yeah. So other counties, get your own judges to start stuff like this. Come and do an internship and learn.
And there has been interest.
Exactly.
We have gotten requests from El Paso.
Well, there you go.
Hidalgo County, Travis County, Harris County, the DFW area, Tarrant County. We've even had inquiries from the New Mexico judicial tribes. We've had inquiries from Alaska and the state of New York.
I know that was New York. I remember that you mentioned New York, and I was just so proud of you. Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations, first of all, on just being that person and being fearless, which is what you have been. Because I can imagine how much you doubted yourself all the way to the Capitol writing this thing. Because it's the first of its kind,
but you put it all in perspective. What's the worst that can happen?
That can happen,
right?
Oh,
They'll tell you no.
No.
And I was raised by a very strong mother, and she used to like to say, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. And it takes, it kind of builds a bold type of character, we can do anything if we put our mind to it. And one of her favorite Spanish dichos was, con Dios y ganas todo se puede.
Okay, so if God wins, everybody can? Or something like
con Dios y ganas. Ganas means wanting to do it.
Oh.
Wanting to do it is ganas, If you have
Not
the ganas, if you have the motivation.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, that's what she said. Whatever she said, we agree with it. Oh my goodness, Judge Rosie, this has been beyond amazing. So before I forget, if everybody else, Instagram is so messy. But everybody else who's listening to me, the show is called The Parent Hour. We are here every single Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. Next weekend, I'm going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, emceeing and moderating and speaking at an event, so I will not be here live. We're going to have a pre-recorded session. Y'all tune in, though, because it's still going to be fun. And Adam, my lover, I love this man so much. Just amazing.
Thank you for having us, Adam.
And of course, Judge Rosie, just like a queen to me. Y'all, listen.
I think we just insulted some queens in San Antonio.
She's a queen to me all day in every way. Find me on drlulu.com. Where can we find Dr. Lulu? Dr-Lulu.com, excuse me. And on social media, Dr. Lulu Talk Radio. Dr. Lulu Talk Radio across all social media except Facebook. Where can we find you, Joe?
Just Google me and you'll find me.
That's
and
right.
like my raza likes to say, Googlealo. Bugalelo. And you can find me. Just do a search on me.
Yes, that's it. Me too, as a matter of fact. But okay. So y'all see y'all next week. We're gonna listen to Judge Rosie's pick. It's called
Querida by Juan Gabriel, an icon of our gay community.
Let's Make It Happen. All right, y'all. Peace, love, and soul. See you next Saturday, or listen to you next Saturday. I'll be tuning in. Yes, what we're gonna say?
Yes, just really quick. My beautiful wife says hello to Dr. Lulu.
Hi, beautiful wife. Our beautiful wife. At this
Mona,
point.
thank you so
Yes,
much.
hi, Mona. Always in the building, Mona. We love you.
All right, we're KLMO Tejano 90.9 FM, the all-new 92.1. Somos San Antonio Lopez broadcasting, and you've been listening to the Parent Hour with Dr. Lulu.
All right, folks. Peace, love, and soul. We did it.
Pasó, Plácido.
Hi, Placido. Did you
All right.
call me last week?
Hi.
You had a mask on, so I was kind of avoiding you. You ready to go, Mama? Thank
Yeah, I gotta
you
get to
so
my
much. Yes.
Northwest Democrats meeting next.
Oh, okay. Wow. Do you rest?
I have it right here.
Okay.
That's
Do you rest?
I tried. Bye, Adam.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Take care.
Placido in the building. ¿Qué pasa? Good morning.
All right.